An idyll on a volcano. Santorini, the Greek dream island. A beauty in blue and white, with people who give everything for their traditions. And life. And full of magical moments. With 7 animals, he makes his way to Tira, the capital of Santorini, 5 kilometers away. Santorini lies in the middle of the Aegean, 110 kilometers north of Crete. It's an archipelago consisting of 5 islands. A gigantic volcanic eruption 3,500 years ago created Santorini and destroyed the Minoan civilization. Most of the once circular island sank into the sea and formed a caldera, a basin flooded with seawater. Today, it's mainly the edges of the crater that are inhabited. In Tira, the men of the tender boat cooperative are on their way to work. Only they can take cruise ship passengers to land. It's impossible for the large ships to berth here. Tira has no harbor, only a tiny concrete pier, and the cruise ships aren't allowed to use their own tenders. The tenders are opposite, on Palea Kameni, the actual volcanic crater in the caldera. Dimitris Sigalas has been amongst them for 30 years. He steers the fleet's flagship, the Captain Koulis, named after the founder of the tenderboat cooperative. Every year, more tourists come to visit Santorini.
The difference from the first cruise ships I encountered is vast. They used to be really small ships, and today, you can see over there how big they've become.
An American ocean liner with nearly 3,000 passengers. Dimitri and his crew will be on the water from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Five boats have booked in. On some days there can be up to 12. Then the population of the island triples. Santorini lives off these day visitors, but the big rush is a logistical challenge. And Dimitris Sigalas knows the passengers aren't always easy. He knows his customers.
They're all different. Every person is different. Americans, for example, they are very demanding. The Spanish are a bit crazy. The Italians are crazy too, only more so.
Tender boat ballet in the caldera. Dimitri's team have 20 boats. Today, 10 have been deployed. Anagiros has to hurry, otherwise he'll miss out on good business. But it takes time for his convoy of donkeys and mules to reach the capital, Tira. Anagiros and his taxi donkeys do most of their work at Tira's harbor steps. 300 meters difference in height, nearly 600 steps. This ascent is too hard for most of the cruise ship passengers that Dimitri Sigalas brings to land today. There's the cable car for the old and frail, but the donkeys are the most popular. The result? Traffic jam at the donkey taxi stand. Anagiros is running late. He'll have to queue at the back with his animals.
The order is very strict. First come, first served. When it's my turn, then they can mount and off we go.
The animals are ready. Each taxi business is permitted to have up to 7 donkeys. A license from the island authority is required to run a taxi business. One fare costs €5. Anagiros keeps an eye out so that the weaker animals don't get saddled with the heavier tourists. The animals have to keep going all day. He himself walks. For the customers, this ride is often their first contact with donkeys, and they can't speak their language either. After 10 minutes, the journey is over. Anagiros often has to assist when the visitors dismount.
It's hard work, not just for the animals. All day in the sun, it's tiring. I've been doing this since I was 15. My father showed me then how to handle the donkeys.
Anagiros and his donkeys climb the hill at most 4 times a day. After that, they're exhausted. Very slowly they make their way back to Megalokori in the afternoon. Santorini, the beauty is always in danger. Under these rocks, one of the world's most dangerous volcanoes is rumbling. It is still active. The last big quake of 1956 destroyed the capital Tira and the town of Oya. Around 50 people lost their lives. Efi Nomikou is a volcanologist at Athens University. Nobody understands the simmering danger better than her. Today she wants to explain the power of the Santorini volcano to 2 students from her faculty. Efi is worried because nobody these days wants to know about the threat which is still looming from the bubble of magma under the archipelago.
I have to tell the people all the time that they live on an active volcano. We have to watch it very carefully so people can live here without danger. One has to bear it in mind, especially now, when everything appears so quiet and peaceful.
In the middle of the caldera is the Palea Kameni. This is where the volcano breathes. Geologically speaking, the island is very young. It was created by an eruption 2,200 years ago. Measuring instruments and infrared cameras have been installed everywhere. They send their data to Evi's research center in Athens. The ground breaks open repeatedly. The sulfurous gases that are emitted turn the volcanic isle into a foul-smelling lunar landscape. A smoking powder keg in direct view of the island Idle. Effie takes her students close to the edge of the crater of an active volcano.
You can see very clearly here that the volcano is still active. Sulfurous gases are coming out everywhere and coloring the rocks green. Every Santorini outbreak has been serious, especially as they always throw so many rocks into the air. The large lumps turn into lots of small missiles. That's very dangerous.
It's a scenario that scares Effie no Miku. She hopes that the early warning systems that have been installed will work, as the question isn't whether the volcano will erupt again, but when. Most of the island's inhabitants and its visitors don't want to think about this danger. They'd rather enjoy life. Every evening there's a major performance in Oya. Hundreds of spectators gather in the old citadel ruin to have the best view of the sun. They say that only on Santorini does it sink into the sea so beautifully. If you haven't seen the sunset from Oya, you haven't been to Santorini, they say.